we serve. This is a country that belongs to all Nigerians, irrespective of tribe, language, or religion. And that is why the Federal Character Principle is central to Nigeria's unity. By ensuring balance, fairness, and equity in recruitment into the federal public service and the distribution of national resources. And that is the golden...
New Naira notes. Central Bank of Nigeria to penalize banks issuing old notes as the apex body begins nationwide sensitization.
So those that are dispensing old notes, we check our record and see what stock have they gotten from Central Bank and how they have utilized it. Where there are versions, obviously we might need to penalize.
Nigeria ships 20 containers of ginger and sesame seeds worth $1.3 million to China.
We have more money to the farmers, more money to the country, addressing forest challenges.
Court strikes out suit challenging the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC board appointment. Plus, NITCOM collaborating to make Nigeria a world-class medical hub. Good evening, welcome to NTA Network News. I'm Cyril Stober in Abuja. Hingino John Adams joins me from Lagos. And you can follow this news live on our website, nta.ng/live, NTA News Now, and other social media platforms displayed on the screen. President Muhammadu Buhari says there can be no development without peace, as the two are complementary to each other. This was while granting audience to the Arab Bank for Economic Development, led by its Director General, Dr. Sid Ould-Ta. State House correspondent Adam Sambu reports that the President used the opportunity to formally welcome back from vacation the Governor of the CBN, Godwin Emefiele.
Governor of CBN, you are welcome back. And maybe you are well received.
It was the first formal engagement between President Muhammadu Buhari and Godwin Emefiele since the CBN governor resumed duty after his annual vacation. The governor was part of the federal government's team that received the delegation of the Arab Bank for Economic Development. The president described the work of the bank as very critical and indeed a major catalyst and tool for achieving the overall objectives of leaders on the continent.
Very aware of the investment in Nigeria, especially in the agricultural sector, regarding our food security systems and capacity building. And more recently, I understand that you are considering an application for an integrated infrastructure project. I urge you to kindly give this country very strong support.
President Buhari observed that the issues that affect one nation also affect others, as this has been clearly demonstrated in the fight against the tyranny of terrorists. He said a key focus of his administration had been security, economy, and anti-corruption, which he described as indispensable if the desired peace, development, and sustainable future can be realized.
While recognizing your continued efforts, it is my well-considered thought there should be a review in the amount of capital that the institution can inject into our various economies, as this would lead to greater impact as we stare at the various issues that confront our economies.
Borno State Governor Babagana Umara Zulum, who had interfaced with the bank at its headquarters, thanked President Buhari for ensuring improvement of security in the northeast. He said Borno State now gets grant for livestock farming, gum Arabic production, and infrastructure, expressing the belief that Nigeria will still have more opportunities from the Bank for Economic Development. The Director General of the bank, Dr. Sid Ould Tah, congratulated President Buhari for the Peace Award, which he described as a testimony to his efforts in promoting amity in Nigeria and Africa. The Arab Bank for Economic Development, he said, has a strong relationship with Nigeria and would love to do more in, amongst other areas, wheat cultivation, gum Arabic, veterinary support services, women and youth development. President Buhari and the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, later met behind closed doors, but details of their discussions were not disclosed. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Central Bank of Nigeria says it will not hesitate to penalize any bank that is caught issuing old notes to the public. This was emphasized during inspection of automated teller machines, ATMs, and engagement of traditional and religious leaders in Abuja. Musa Abubakar reports.
The deadline window is closing, and the new 200, 500, and 1,000 Naira notes are yet to be sufficient at most automated teller machines. Investigation reveal some banks are still issuing the old notes despite directive by the central bank not to do so.
I don't come here today almost 4 times. This is what I'm getting.
The CBN team is on spot checks of banks to assess the level of compliance.
So those that are dispensing old notes, we check our record and see what stock have they gotten from central bank and how they have utilized it. Where there are diversions, obviously we might need to penalize. But the both exercise is useful because we put banks on their toes.
Meanwhile, the team has continued to engage with stakeholders to further enlighten people at the grassroots to ensure compliance.
I want to appeal for the expression of the town in order to give me the more awareness, both especially both at the rural area. If that one can be acceptable, I think we appreciate.
What we can only do is to encourage, the local businesses in the rural areas, in the local governments, to make sure that they go to the banks and visit all their old notes, because after 31st of January it's going to be obsolete.
While the CBN intends to get tough, the body language of some Nigerians is to give it a little time beyond the January 31st so that the Naira redesign policy can gradually come to fruition. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
And staying with the redesigned Naira, the Central Bank of Nigeria says the new notes will circulate to every nook and cranny of the country before the January 31st deadline. Controller CBN Ilorin branch, Najim Lamidi, gave the assurance during the sensitization on the new Naira notes at the palace of the Emir of Ilorin and some markets in Ilorin metropolis. Kende Omalosho has the details.
The sensitization took off from the CBN office, went to the Balogun Fulani family compound, palace of the Emir of Ilorin, Oja Oba, Oja Tuntun, Obo Road Market, Yoruba Road Market, and terminated at the CBN office. CBN Ilorin branch controller Najim Lamidi informed the Emir that the notes cannot be counterfeited as security measures have been taken by the Apex Bank to forestall its counterfeiting. The message of the central bank is for all to deposit all old notes at their banks in exchange for the new notes, emphasizing that the deadline date will not be extended. Some of the benefits of the currency redesign are inflation control, accurate data on money supply and monetary aggregates, financial inclusion, and promoting a cashless policy.
To make sure that they accept it, they use it, and to make sure that those that have this old currency at home, that is 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000, they take it to their bank.
Emir of Ilorin, Alhaji Ibrahim Zulu Gambari, wants the CBN to be focused on the new monetary policy to improve the nation's economy. For Gbenga Ojo, a business owner at Ojoba, the January 31 deadline date is not feasible.
As the market persons, you still have the old note with us. Even though if you enter the bank now, they only give us the old notes.
Even if you go to ATM to go and withdraw, they're still giving us the old money.
By now, banks should be able to stop giving out those old Naira notes to their customers.
The new Naira notes came to circulation on December 15, 2022, while the old notes will not be accepted as legal tender in Nigeria from January 31st, 2023. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
More than 14.5 billion naira was generated by the Nigerian Mining Cadastral Office into the nation's coffers in the last 5 years. Director General of the Cadastral Office, Obadiah Nkom, who made this known, is optimistic that more revenue will be generated through innovative service delivery. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The President recently reappointed the Director General of the Nigerian Mining Cadastral Office, Engineer Obadiah Nkom.
Guest at the 65th session of the weekly executive briefing of the press at the Presidential Villa in Abuja is the Director General of the Nigerian Mining Cadastral Office, Obadiah Nkom, who says the office continues to deliver service reliably and effectively, using objective standards and procedures in accordance with the provisions of the Mining Act and its regulations.
Tell you with the new system, I can tell you without mincing words that subsequently we are going to have a very good increase, because even as at then we tend to form over 50% or about 50% of the revenue of the mining sector. In our revenue generation, it's nothing but application fees, processing fees. And the
Director General says the deployment of information technology in the administration of its operations, especially the introduction of the new electronic mining cadastral system, has led to the tremendous improvement in the delivery of its services.
The more you are transparent, the more you are able to see people coming to submit applications. So we have quite an increase on them. And the increase is not just nationally. You find foreign investors coming in to be attracted by way of our transparency, by way of the mining code, by way of our policies, by the way things are being done. Then
the Nigerian Mining Cadastral Office already commenced the processing and granting of permits, licenses and leases in accordance with the provisions of the Nigerian Minerals and Mining Act 2007. And the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
The House of Representatives is pushing for increased export of gum arabic by the establishment of a research institute for gum arabic to improve foreign exchange earnings for Nigeria. A bill to that effect, sponsored by House Chief Whip Mohammed Tahir Munguno, passed second reading during plenary. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The bill seeking the establishment of a research institute for gum arabic aligns with government's drive to diversify sources of revenue for economic growth. House Chief Whip enumerates the benefits of improved cultivation of the acacia tree in Nigeria, which produces gum arabic used in the pharmaceutical, food, beverage, print and textile industries.
From Borno, Yobe, Jigawa, up to Sokoto, it's a gum arabic belt. And if properly exploited, it will be a major source of revenue to the government.
Sudan, for instance, is a major contributor to their GDP today.
This tree, acacia tree, to survive in our forest will also reduce desertification because it's very rugged in terms of water control.
That's where they're buying waste. And I believe if we tap it properly, we tend to benefit.
Bills to amend the Legislative Powers and Privileges Act to ensure that federal lawmakers are addressed properly, sponsored by House Speaker and Chief Whip, pass second reading.
We are here to serve the nation and to be addressed as representative, while distinguished senators of the Senate will be designated as senators.
Also passed at second reading is the bill that seeks granting of rights of compensation to victims of crime, and the bill to establish a Federal Institute of Driving Technology in Anako, Ayamelum of Anambra State, sponsored by Representative Vincent Ofumelu. The House has resolved to investigate the alleged case of stray bullets in Uromi, which left one person dead, as raised by Representative Sergio Sogun, and supported the motion from Representative Uyime Idem appealing for rehabilitation of roads in parts of Akwa Ibom State.
God sent our apostle was killed by
a police stray bullet 1 month after he graduated from Ambrosali University, Ekoma.
Urgently completes the Ikot Akpangu, Yariba, Usotiat, Ikot Akpaidem, Ikot Rambang Road in Ukanafin local government area.
As Committee on Basic Education and Services laid reports of 3 bills for consideration and approval, among them bills seeking to make compulsory teachings on breast and cervical cancer in senior secondary schools. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
I'll take a break now. The news continues shortly.
People of Nigeria don't talk them say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu dem want as president of Nigeria. Our country people get many reasons wey make them all agree say na Asiwaju Bola Tinubu dem choose for this president election. Yes Bola Tinubu na man wey sabi anything wey him put in hand, he dey work wella. He do better work for Lagos State when he be governor. Till today, Lagos people still dey enjoy from all the better things wey jaburata for Lagos. People of Nigeria, e good to make we vote for who sabi. As e come be so, make we all come out for election day and vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president of Nigeria. Vote Senator Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party with the broom. Who be the president? We go go.
The Senate Committee on Police Affairs hereby invites stakeholders and members of the general public to a public hearing on Police Pension Board Establishment Bill 2022, SB 1009, and Nigeria Police Special Forces Establishment Bill 2022, SB 84B, scheduled to hold as follows. Date 20th January 2023, time 10 a.m. prompt. Venue, Conference Hall 231, Senate New Building. Special guest of honor, the Senate President, His Excellency Senator Ahmed Lawal, PhD, CON. Stakeholders expected at the public hearing: Inspector General Police IGP, Police Service Commission, Nigeria Police Trust Fund, National Pension Commission, Association of Retired Police Officers of Nigeria. Stakeholders are expected to submit their memoranda on or before Friday 20th January 2023. Announcer Senator Dauda Haliru Cheka, Chairman Senate Committee on Police Affairs.
The truth untold. We restored democracy. We initiated due process. We created the EFCC and ICPC. We brought Nigeria out of debt by achieving $18 billion worth of relief and $30 billion overall reduction. We revived the rail system. We upgraded agriculture. We brought in the mobile phone and digitalized Nigeria. Under the PDP, the Nigerian economy was the strongest in Africa. Though Nigerians made their choice, today we all know better. Nigerians, do not despair. Hope is in the horizon. We are putting in the work and refreshing our drive to rescue and rebuild Nigeria. Together, let's make it happen. PDP, power to the people.
Do you reside in the Federal Capital Territory? Are you a business owner or an employer of labor in the FCT? Do you know that it is a violation of your civic responsibility not to file your annual returns? The FCT Internal Revenue Service uses this medium to inform all organizations, employers of labor, and agents to file their annual tax returns before the stipulated deadline, which is the 31st of January 2023, to avoid being on the wrong side of the law. Failure to file within the stipulated period shall attract penalty. Hurry now. Visit our website at www.fctirs.gov.ng to download and fill the Form G or Form H1 or walk into any of our offices nearest to you to obtain same and file your returns. Online self-service for filing the returns is available on our website. For more inquiries, please call our contact center on 0700-220-0002 or email contact us at fctirs.gov.ng. Together, we can build the FCT of our dreams.
The Mission for Education, Social and Health MESH, a non-governmental organization of the Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, is urging all Muslim Ummah to take advantage of the 8-day extension of the collection of permanent voters card (PVC) by the Independent Electoral Commission (INEC)
to collect their cards at their wards and local government councils nationwide. The mission is also calling on all Muslim Ummah to ensure they fully participate in the elections, as it is their right to vote and be voted for. Know that your full participation will immensely contribute to the success of electing patriotic leaders that will pilot the affairs of our great nation, Nigeria. Get your PVC, vote wisely, and ensure a peaceful general elections. This message is from the Mission for Education, Social and Health, MESH.
Thanks for staying with us. Nigeria has shipped 20 containers of ginger and sesame seeds valued at $1.3 million to Nigerian Export Trade House, Hunan Province in China. The Nigerian Export Promotion Council (NEPC) disclosed the tonnage during the takeoff of the products to China through Onne Port in Rivers State. The shipment, carried out through a public-private partnership, is part of government's efforts to increase the visibility of Nigerian products in the People's Republic of China, considering its prominence in the Asian continent.
The opening of the China economy now, we see this as an opportunity to quickly launch, and the multiplier effect is great. We have more money to the farmers, more money to the country, addressing forest challenges, and again using on the port, it means that there is now a side of order to our papa, so meaning that it's going through on a, let there be so many exit points. For us is good. That means decongesting the papa port.
We are going to move average of 300 containers within the next at least 45 days. All the containers you are seeing here today, 20, we have 17 ginger, and we have 3 sesame seed containers living here. And trade deficit between China and Nigeria, we will be able to close it. If not totally close it, at least bring it closer than what it is today.
Comfort Amodo reports that the 20 containers of ginger and sesame seeds are expected to arrive China within 45 days ahead of the official launch of the Nigerian Export Trade House in Hunan, China. Time to talk more business with Benny Adams. Benny?
Thank you and welcome to business. Still talking about exports. As Nigeria exports 20 containers of ginger and sesame seeds to China, the French government is committing to ensuring value addition for better export earnings of these and many other agri-commodities in country. This is as French ambassador to Nigeria, Emmanuel Blackman, joins the campaign for patronage of made in Nigeria goods and services.
Since I've arrived here a bit more than a year ago, I have been every day impressed by the spirit of entrepreneurship of Nigerians. And we have already identified 100 Nigerian, super quality Nigerian products from different places in the country that could be, have this label of in the cash.
Specifically, this is the size we want, and this is the type of branding we want. And I'm glad she's happy with what she has seen.
And in a bid to actualizing plans contained in the National Development Plan 2021 to 2025, which includes creation of 21 million full-time jobs and lifting 35 million people out of poverty by the year 2025, the federal government has inaugurated a technical working group on youth employment and skills development in collaboration with the World Bank and other partners to serve as think tank for solving and addressing youth employment in the country.
In Nigeria, about 53.4% of youths are unemployed, according to Youth Unemployment Rate released by the National Bureau of Statistics in 2022. This therefore makes it imperative for urgent steps with an expectation that the outcome of this technical working group will contribute to reducing youth unemployment, facilitate skills development and empowerment in Nigeria.
Addressing constraints on information and skills and other aspects to make young people employable.
So that we stop the migration problem, so we stop our risk being at risk, and so that we can meaningfully engage them and add their productivity to the economy.
And to get a look at the markets, Nigerian equities recorded slight increase by 0.02% as investors gain 6 billion naira amid lingering sell-off pressure. At the end of trading, a total of 129.038 million shares in 3,183 deals corresponding to a market value of 1.8 billion naira were traded. Today's data shows 41% decline in volume, 59% decline in turnover, and 6% decline in deals. The current market capitalization is 28.7 trillion naira. Zenith Bank traded the highest, followed by Guarantee Trust and United Bank for Africa. That is Business News. Network News continues with Cyril.
Thank you, Benny. And in other news, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, says the late Nigerian ambassador to Spain, Ademola Seriki, was an essential Nigerian who served his fatherland with pride. The minister stated this when he visited the Nigerian embassy in Madrid, Spain. Anthony Forson reports.
On arrival at the Nigerian house in Madrid, the minister was received by the head of chancellery in the embassy, Hawa Kwanga, along with other staff of the embassy. Eulogizing the late ambassador, Lai Mohammed chronicled his old days with the deceased, saying their relationship transcends 3 decades. And to the staff of the embassy, he enjoined them to take solace in the will of God, praying for the repose of his soul. The Director General Nahoto and his NTDC counterpart, as well as the Director of International Tourism, Dorothy Duaku, all hailed the late Ademola Seriki for his commitment towards nation building. In Madrid, Spain, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
The African Medical Center for Excellence is partnering with the Nigerian and Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, to establish a world-class medical hub with a major investment deal coming on board soon. Obiageli Woke reports that the pilot project will be executed in Abuja.
The healthcare project is a major investment deal which is aimed at achieving efficient healthcare delivery in Nigeria, especially in cancer and cardiovascular-related treatments. Mr. Brian Deaver is the Chief Executive Officer of the African Medical Center of Excellence. He assured the establishment of the center in Nigeria will reverse the flow of external medical tourism, estimated at $6 to $7 billion annually, address brain drain, and create over 1,000 jobs for both the medical and non-medical Nigerians.
This project, the purpose of which, again, was to bring much-needed world-class cancer, cardiovascular, and hematological treatment and diagnosis here to the area.
The team is on ground to ensure that the construction is monitored as well as the project is on target.
This is something that the country desperately needs, and this is something that the country knows how to prepare, now knows how to grow.
Chairman, Nigerian in the Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabirerewa, is optimistic that this deal, if fully implemented, will not only revamp the current situation of Nigeria's health sector, but will change Nigeria to a medical tourist site for West Africa and Africa generally.
Now, what we are trying to do is what we're going to do with you. How do we harness all this to the benefit of our own home country? So I'm proud of our brothers and sisters everywhere. They just need a better environment, and it's being created by government. And I'm sure in the next few years, we will have positive stories to tell.
The NIDCOM boss gave the assurance of the Commission's readiness to work with the AMCA group, as a technical committee will be created to that effect. Obiageli Ugoke, NTA.
In response to the federal government's drive of providing affordable and conducive homes for Nigerian workers, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has completed the construction of 90 bungalows at FMBN Housing Estate, Wachawa, Abakaliki. Kelebubonna reports that Governor David Umahi, while inaugurating the houses for the benefit of low-income earners, commended President Muhammadu Buhari for championing people-oriented programs.
These 60 units of 2-bedroom and 30 units of 3-bedroom comprising 90 bungalows
was funded by Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria under its concessionary interest rate of 10% and also finances the purchase for Nigerian workers at interest rate of 6%. Governor David Umahi, while inaugurating the houses, said his government will always align with the federal government in order to better the lot of the people.
If you live in happiness and I live in happiness, then nobody will carry gun. Nobody will begrudge the other person. We shelter over our heads. We give us comfort in our hearts. And we take lightly. If we can do this, the confidence in governance will be restored.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and other key players said the project, which is pocket-friendly, has 25 years payment period for civil servants.
The estate is fully serviced with basic infrastructure, including the entire road network, drainages, electricity, and housing unit.
Again, the collaboration is to ensure that each participating stakeholder contributes something towards ensuring affordability and availability of shelter for our people.
Considering the fact that the National Housing Fund is a mandatory contributory scheme that requires Nigerian workers in both public and private sectors earning a minimum wage of 30% to contribute 2.5% monthly, all workers are advised to key in and own a house. In Abakaliki, Kele Bubuna, NTA News.
In the meantime, the revitalization of Federal Integrated Staff Housing Project, FISH, by the Office of the Head of Service is yielding positive results across the various FISH estate projects in the country. Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, stated this at the groundbreaking of the FISH Gwagwalada Housing Estate. Haman Jabani reports.
One of the greatest desires of majority of Nigerians, and in particular civil servants, is to own a home where they can raise their families with comfort and peace of mind. However, the high cost of building or purchasing a house has made this dream to be unrealistic for many. But the groundbreaking of 116 two-bedroom semi-detached bungalow under 5 hectares of land will pave the way for additional civil servants in the FCT to own a house with relative ease.
Can increase the level of our funding so that we can make sure that every civil servant that aspires to have a house or public servant will have his house.
Minister of Works and Housing Babatunde Raji Fashola, whose ministry provides the land, commended the head of civil service of the Federation for seeing to the welfare of civil servants, just as additional 4 newly constructed federal secretariats by Buhari's administration will be inaugurated.
It is public servants that are also at the forefront of the economic policies, the anti-corruption drive of this government, and indeed its security objectives. So it is important to pay attention to their welfare.
Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yebieson, while thanking President Buhari for the support, solicited land from the Federal Capital Territory and other NDAs to construct more cheap and affordable houses for Nigerian workers.
Meaningful collaborations are also earnestly sought in the areas of mortgage and alternative financing, among other critical areas of intervention.
The involvement of organized private sector in real estate development in the nation's capital has proven to be a trusted model in the provision of affordable housing.
To provide houses for millions of Nigerian workers, Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation said it is exploring the possibility of adopting modern technologies and solutions being applied globally for the construction of affordable and durable houses. Haman Jabani, NTA News.
The Federal High Court in Abuja has struck out a suit instituted against President Muhammadu Buhari to challenge an alleged lopsidedness in the appointments into the board of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. The suit, instituted by an NDDC stakeholder, Rita Lori Ogbebo, was struck out by the court on the grounds that the plaintiff has no legal rights to have instituted the case. Justice Inyangekwo, in his judgment, held that Section 2 of the NDDC Act 2000 is so specific that any legal action and any infraction in matters relating to NDDC can only be instituted by corporate persons and not individuals like the plaintiff, saying the law is clear that the power to file any case to challenge infractions in the NDDC cannot be delegated by proxy to anybody. Mrs. Ogbebo, who claimed to be a stakeholder from Shekiri extraction, had dragged President Buhari, NDDC, the Senate, Dr. Pius Odubu, Olumu Bernard Okumagba, and the Attorney General of the Federation before the court in the suit, praying the court to invoke sections 4 and 12 of the NDDC Act to order President Buhari to appoint indigents of oil-producing areas of Delta State as chairman in specific compliance with Section 4. However, the defendants averred that Section 2 of the NDDC Act is so specific not only corporate persons can institute action where infractions occur. In his judgment, Justice Ekwo upheld the objections of the defendants and held that the plaintiff lacked legal right to have brought the case before the court. Time now to join Hingino in Lagos for more reports on Network News. Hingino.
Thank you, Cyril. The Central Bank of Nigeria says it will take all necessary measures to ensure that Nigerians are not deprived access to the redesigned Naira notes by deposit money banks. Director, Legal Services Department of the Apex Bank stated this while interacting with stakeholders in Lagos. Abolade Salami reports.
The decision of the Apex Bank to continuously educate Nigerians on the need to embrace the redesigned Naira notes as means of exchange before phasing out the 1,000, 500 and 200 Naira notes on 31st of January 2023 has to a large extent restored the confidence of many on the authenticity of the legal tender. This was evident at a session the bank officials held with business operators at the popular computer village in Ikeja, Lagos. There, the bank re-echoed that it has embedded in the redesigned notes security features that are unique. On the basis of this, stakeholders were implored not to reject the notes as adequate supply has been made available to deposit money banks.
Central Bank of Nigeria is bending over backwards to accommodate the demands of banks in order to service them so that they can service you out there, their customers, so that everybody will have access to the new Naira notes. What we want to have happen in Nigeria in terms of this Naira note will happen. And what do we want? Accessibility.
While applauding the initiative of the Apex Bank, business operators called for more compliance on the part of deposit money banks.
So we want to encourage the TBNs to enforce their mandates, or their deadline on the banks. There should be no banks that should not be giving the new Naira note from their ATM machine.
The passionate appeal was extended to CBN to monitor and ensure proper circulation of the redesigned Naira notes before the deadline. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Worried by the prevalence of drug importation in which more than 162 cartons of tramadol with duty-paid value of 13.8 billion naira were intercepted within 2 weeks, the Murtala Mohammed Airport Command of the Customs Service has threatened to start sanctioning both airline carriers and aviation handling companies found culpable in the course of illicit goods finding their way into the country. Michael Olale reports that apart from this, close to 1,000 pieces of different military hardware were also seized.
The cargo wing of any airport is always a point of scrutiny, especially for consignments which had invaded every other checks. This tends to pay off for the Murtala Mohammed Airport Command of the Nigeria Customs Service, as tramadol found in 13 different airway bill number were intercepted between 23rd December 2022 to the second week of January 2023. The concern for the customs is not basically about the milligrams of the drug which are above the threshold, but rather how they were airlifted from India and Pakistan through Addis Ababa to Lagos, where 34-year-old Samson Tantolong of number 29 Okejide Street, Ejigbo, Lagos, was arrested along with the drugs.
We will start sanctioning the airline because we have done the first meeting with them, and I told them if they cannot know their customer, that's KYC, then we are going to block them from bringing in. If they come here and find any trouble, we will detain them.
Another major recovery by the Customs Service was the interception of different military hardwares like helmets, armless jackets, chess plays, and others imported from South Africa.
God knows what they want.
A suspect was equally arrested and undergoing investigation, but the lack of end-user certificates to back up the importation is forcing the Murtala Muhammed Airport Command to drop its conclusion.
Anybody can wear them and come out and pretend, and that's why we are on alert.
In the year 2022, the Murtala Muhammed Airport Command generated a sum of 69.7 billion naira to surpass not only its 55.6 billion naira generated for 2021, but above the 66 billion naira target given at the start of 2022. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Let's take some messages. Network News will be back shortly.
Yes, I got a call from Glow. I want a 3-bedroom bungalow.
Guess what? I want a car. I won a generator by participating in the Festival of Joy promo by Glow.
Hey, you don't do this stuff for me. You don't make it that with sewing machine.
I won generator last year. This year I won for.
It's a celebration like no other, with prizes like no other. 20 new houses to be won, 24 brand new cars, 200 sewing machines, 100 generators, 1,000 rechargeable fans. Glow Festival of Joy promo. Dial *611# now.
Good morning. Good morning. Why is your sun shining like this?
Can't you see that Hamatan season is here? We need to protect our children from this dry weather.
What about the invisible germs?
Invisible germs?
During Harmattan, it's not enough to only protect your skin. You also need protection from these invisible germs. To protect our families, we use Dettol.
Harmattan season brings a lot of germs, but Dettol with Germ Defense gives protection from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
It's a new dawn for Nigeria. Oh, better days are coming. Better days that gives us hope and strength. To keep this hope alive, bringing them smiles back to all Nigerians.
It's a new dawn in Nigeria. Renewed hope beckons on our people. The silver lining dots the skies. The firmament portents a bright future as the people of Nigeria move to vote a man whom they have come to trust for the realization of their aspirations for a better Nigeria. That man is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He has been tested. He can be trusted. Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria 2023. Vote Kashim Shettima as Vice President. Vote APC. Surely with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the smiles are returning. We are close to home.
Bringing them smiles back to all Nigerians.
It depends you, it depends us, it depends everybody. Yes, but what? Not shed, scatter, come out, and no go suffer. This one they talk, and make them go if they won't go. This one they talk, we go come out, we go. This one say, make we scatter, make we burn, make we do everything. When you scatter finish, where you go? Okay, you go take private jet, carry your family go. But make I ask you, what about your uncle, mama, auntie, brother, sister? What about them? Remember, who throw stone for market? You don't know whether the stone go touch your own person. If the two will go come out from your mouth, you no go fit gather us together as one people. Shut up with please. War no get friend. You don't know language, you don't know anything. So if our get too much, make we sit down at the table of dialogue. Nigeria na my own, Nigeria na your own, Nigeria na our own. Make we come together, keep them together. My people, my name is Emeka. Mekus Kamat. Let me get all this again. I don't learn my lesson. Somebody come buy motor for my hand, carry big money, come give me. Now when they get bust, then my eye open. I know that 419 be. But when EFCC babam, and they come back me too. Now he make me they warn you. All of them when they do business like me. When they carry big money, when I go sometimes I go carry transfer, carry bring back. They could shine in my eye because a special control unit against money laundering, when they call SCUMO, they don't want to say if the money pass 5 million naira for individual, no collect them. If it pass 10 million naira for company, no collect them. Can I go where? Bank. If you not do them like that, 250,000 naira for every day where this offense happen. Or they go suspend your license, or they go shut them down, pata for your hand. You talk say, I know one you.
This message is from the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Oh, hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
The regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes.
To disinfect your toilet, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning.
Oh, now I've got these, Helen Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
The next house is yours.
More news now. International business mogul, philanthropist and Chief Executive Officer Oriental Energy Resources Limited, Dr. Muhammadu Indimi, says he will continue to support humanity by rendering charitable gestures to the generality of the populace. Dr. Indimi stated this when the Sheikh of Borno, Abubakar ibn Umar Garbay Al-Amin El-Kanemi, visited him at his residence in Maiduguri. Reports.
Dr. Muhammadu Indimi, a renowned philanthropist, is impacting positively on the lives of Nigerians and the global community in general. A true nationalist, Dr. Indimi's contributions in the education, health and housing sectors, as well as the internally displaced persons, are unquantifiable. It was in recognition of this tremendous support and development of Borno and Nigeria in general that the Sheikh of Borno deemed it necessary to show his appreciation to the philanthropist, hence the visit.
Our leaders, they taught to us how to live with the peace, still following their leadership. We can support the rulers and the masses as well.
Personally express my sincere thanks and appreciation for all what you have been doing to the people of Borno.
The royal father also appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari in ensuring that security of lives, peace and electricity are restored to Borno, among other support by Mr. President. In Maiduguri, NTA News.
Some politics now. The vice presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Senator Kashim Shettima, says the unity of Nigeria will continue to be top priority of government if given the mandate in the 2023 general election. He stated this while on courtesy call at the Sultan's Palace in Sokoto. Dalhatu Abdullahi completes the report.
The APC vice presidential candidate, Senator Kashim Shettima, was accompanied on the visit by the APC National Vice Chairman Abubakar Kyari, Senator Sabi Abdullahi, and other politicians, among others. Senator Kashim said he is at the palace to seek for royal advice and to solicit the Sultan's blessings. He promised to protect and accord ultimate respect to traditional institutions in the country if APC is given a chance.
I'm not here for politicking. I'm here essentially to pay my respect on behalf of my principal Ashwaju Bola Tinubu and solicit for the Sultan's prayers for a peaceful conduct of the 2023 presidential and other elections.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, thanked the APC vice presidential candidate for the visit. Sultan Saad Abubakar said, as traditional leaders, they will continue to advise politicians where necessary. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And the APC presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, has pledged to lead a progressive government that will provide an enabling environment for infrastructural development at a much faster pace and make Nigeria a destination for investment if given the mandate at the presidential election. Tinubu gave the assurance at an interactive session with the Federation of Construction Industry in Nigeria in Abuja. Musbah Wahab reports.
Excellency, and the series of consultation by Bola Tinubu with representatives of sectors, it was the turn of the construction industry. For any country desirous of a fast-paced development, this sector is pivotal, and the APC administration says it has demonstrated this understanding with improved budgetary allocation and different infrastructure development projects.
We believe and we know that infrastructure is the backbone of the economy. Many of our members are not able to access construction sites because of issues of insecurity.
Representatives of infrastructure industry, rated as the second largest employer of labor after governments, itemized issues of concern including insecurity, project financing, multiplicity of taxes. But then, Bola Tinubu assures that their concerns would find a place in his plans. He promised to strengthen security, commitment to education, employment, and introduce proper monetary and fiscal policies.
I've been well exposed, I'm well trained, I'm different, and this is what I come to market to you today. The assurance that help is here. I must change this country and change it for what? For progress.
We're all focused on one thing: a better and more prosperous Nigeria. And who best can give us that?
And while he seeks the support of the Nigerian electorate, the APC presidential candidate says his ambition is to bring about a prosperous, happier and better Nigeria. In Abuja, Musbah Wahab, NTA News.
The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, says his economic revamp initiative captures the establishment of inland ports in Oyo to attract and further strengthen trade and economic prosperity in the southwest. Laji Atiku Abubakar was speaking as his campaign reached the Mapo Hill Hall, Ibadan, Oyo State. Onotu Yakubu was there.
The PDP presidential campaign rounded off its tour of the southwest geopolitical zone at the ancient city of Ibadan. Atiku Abubakar told the people that his 5 thematic point contract with Nigerians for the rescue and recovery will establish a people-oriented government to address poverty, insecurity, as well as revamp education and the economy.
It is one of the 5 pillars of our program to make sure we implement this structuring, meaning that we give you more resources and more power so that you can develop your respective goals and states. And all of you, we will begin the process of building back a Nigeria that will create hope for our youth so that we can have a future for ourselves. We are back to work for you to make sure that we improve your road, we improve education. We, the PDP, is in place in Southwest. We are in very strong competition in Southwest. We're going to get everything for Atiku and power. Development will be very rapid.
The PDP campaign team enjoined people of the southwest to key into its vision for a better and prosperous Nigeria by taking the message of hope across the region for all-out victory. From Ibadan, Oyo State, Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
And the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, says he is committed to the New Nigeria project through competent leadership, respect for the rule of law, and compassion for all-round development of the country. He stated this at the flag-off of the presidential campaign rally of the party in Minna, the Niger State capital. Fatima Aliu reports.
The party, in its rally, promised to birth a new Nigeria through improvements in the standard of living, reduce unemployment and tackle security challenges bedeviling the country, saying it is time to move the country from consumer economy to that of production. The presidential candidate of the party, Peter Obi, said the turnaround of the country will start from Niger State, which is a farming community and capable of feeding the whole nation if properly annexed.
We will use here to show that Nigeria can feed itself. We don't talk about production without power. We talk about education. We will change Nigeria.
We want to tell you that Nigeria is the state, civil service state. And I told you that the road between Mina and Abuja and other major roads are going to be realized.
Other speakers who urged the people to take their destiny into their hands by voting for Labour Party say 2023 election should not be based on ethnicity, tribe or religion. The presidential candidate and his running mates had earlier held a town-hall meeting with women and youths where they promised a better Nigeria. In Mina, Fatima Aliu, NTA News.
We'll take another quick break now. We'll be right back.
If you want to become something, become a child again. Why be patient? If you must worry, then worry about winning. Why worry about germs? When you come home, bring tales and stories. Why bring in germs?
Shield your families from germs. When Dettol is a part of every household bucket, then you and your family can stay protected from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Everyday use of Dettol keeps my loved ones protected.
Good morning. Good morning. Why is your sun shining like this?
Don't you see that Hamatan season is here? We need to protect our children from this dry weather.
What about the invisible germs?
Invisible germs?
During Harmattan, it's not enough to only protect your skin. You also need protection from these invisible germs. To protect our families, we use Dettol.
Harmattan season brings a lot of germs, but Dettol with germ defense gives protection from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
All the 20 kidnapped passengers and NRC staff at the Chief Tom Ekime railway station, Ekeken in Igwebe, Edo State, have regained their freedom and released to their families. A statement by the Deputy Director of Public Relations, Nigerian Railway Corporation, Mahmoud Yakub, indicates that none was hurt or injured while in captivity and when released. The Nigerian Railway Corporation appreciates the role, patience and cooperation of the families of the victims, security agencies and the Edo State government towards the release of the victims. The corporation calls on all communities along the railway corridors to be security conscious by reporting any suspicious movement that is likely to cause a breach of the peace within their locality to the nearest security agency or their community vigilante for quick intervention. A quick look at the weather.
Hello and welcome to the weather forecast. I am Theodora Etum. Consistent influx of moisture into the country has led to increased cloudiness over the coastal parts of the country. So for Friday, very early morning mist and fog patches anticipated over the coastal belts of the country, and this should lift later in the day to patches of clouds in a hazy atmosphere. However, later during the day, there are prospects of isolated thundery activities with or without rivers, Bayelsa, Delta, and Ogun states. The rest of the country are expected to experience slight dust haze with further improvements in horizontal visibilities. Up next is the Air Quality Index. Thank you for watching.
That concludes Network News tonight. Remember, don't give up in the fight against rape and rapists. Stand with the NTA. I'm Cyril Stover. Good night.